In Florida, it's not a matter of if, but when a storm will hit. Damaging winds and rain can devastate our communities and impact our way of life. And when severe weather strikes, power outages will occur.
At Florida Power & Light, we understand how much our customers and communities depend on reliable electricity, and that every moment without power can feel like an eternity. That's why we train year-round, so that when severe weather strikes, we're ready to respond for our customers when they need us the most.
The 2022 hurricane season brought devastation throughout Florida when homes were ripped from their foundations with winds from Hurricane Ian, and served as a stark reminder of the importance of storm preparation.
We're constantly working to improve our restoration efforts and make our grid more storm resilient. For nearly 2 decades, we've been working to build a stronger, smarter, more storm resilient grid so we can be able to better respond to severe weather.
FPL's Storm Secure Underground program, which began in 2018, analyzes outage data from past hurricanes, vegetation-related service interruptions, and other reliability metrics to identify areas that would most benefit from having power lines placed underground.
Underground lines perform significantly better than overhead lines, as tree limbs and branches interacting with power lines is one of the leading causes of outages.
FPL also improves grid resiliency by strengthening power poles and replacing wooden poles with steel or concrete poles built to withstand extreme wind loads often brought by severe weather. Those changes, plus new smart grid technology, helped to speed restoration when Hurricane Ian made landfall in September 2022.
Just 8 days after Hurricane Ian exited the state, we were able to restore power back to essentially all 2.1 million customers impacted by one of the most powerful storms in the United States history.
FPL uses technology to help assess damage following a storm to enable faster response by crews on the ground.
Drones allow us to get eyes on our equipment before we can safely get trucks on the road due to flooding or downed trees. What this does is it allows us to assess the damage so that once we know what the problems are and we can get trucks on the road, we already know what the diagnosis is so we can restore power back faster for our customers.
Just like FPL prepares year-round for a storm, the company wants to help its customers prepare too.
It's important to note that no system is hurricane-proof. Our grid enhancements and technology help us get the lights back on faster after a storm, but outages will always occur. That's why it's so important for communities and customers to plan ahead, just like FPL is planning.
FPL officials recommend taking these steps to prepare. First, create an emergency plan. Discuss with your family what to do in an emergency, especially if someone in your family relies on electricity for a medical device. Second, have a hurricane kit ready with all necessary supplies, including enough food, water, and medications to sustain your family in the event you lose power for an extended period. Third, make sure you are staying informed. Listen to emergency officials in your community, follow the local news, and download the FPL app for information about the status of power restoration.
It's important to have trees trimmed on your property by a professional tree trimmer before a storm is already on the way. Once a hurricane warning is in effect, it's too late to trim your trees, as those limbs and branches can become projectiles once debris pickup is suspended following a hurricane warning.
During a storm, nothing is more important than your safety.
During a storm, safety is our top priority, and it should be our customers' top priority as well. Stay away from windows, please stay indoors, and keep your family safe.
After a storm, FPL recommends you stay far away from downed power lines and report them to 1-800-4-OUTAGE.
Thanks to FPL's investments in smart grid technology, we're able to see which homes have power and which homes don't have power after a storm. We have a proven process for restoring power back for our customers, which focuses on restoring to the largest amount of customers in the shortest amount of time until every customer's lights are back on.
As soon as it is safe to do so, FPL begins the restoration process by repairing any damage to power plants. Then move on to restoring power to critical facilities such as hospitals, police, and fire stations. At the same time, FPL works to return service to the largest number of customers in the shortest amount of time.
We know how difficult it is to be without power, and that's why we work around the clock for our customers until everybody's lights are back on.
For both new and longtime residents of the Sunshine State, it can be troubling to hear that a storm is headed our way. but FPL wants you to know that they are prepared and ready to respond. Just like they have a plan, they urge you to have a plan and stay prepared.
FPL is here to help you. In order to prepare for storm season and also tips on what to do after a storm, please go to FPL.com/storm.